Hi, it's Fran. I'm gonna sum this up because I did take a video prior to this, and I guess it must have been too long because it just stopped. So, what I did talk about was Chris going to school and school choice, and how his school choice he had problems with school choice. So, with being bounced around and saying he was supposed to be going here, getting a letter saying he was going there, having an email saying he had to go to his own school because being that he's autistic, they didn't have inclusive in this one. It was really a mess, but his number ended up being at the same school that he was at, but they still saying that he was going someplace. It was a very strange problem, and hopefully I got resolved. So the other thing was New York. We went to New York in June. We had a good time, with the exception of being pulled everywhere. Things not going exactly as planned. Actually, New York City, if it wasn't that, I only got to go once, but if it wasn't that we had some mishaps, it would have even been better. Just the visual of New York was extremely stimulating. Just looking at the buildings and everything else. Staten Island, I hate to say it, kind of a dive. Brooklyn, it's kind of changing. I was going to say going this way, but it's changing. It's visually looks the same. I mean, nothing's visually really bad. I mean, people are like, oh, it's horrible. And I'm looking at it like, oh, it's not that whole lot bad to me. You know, it's same as before. I've been there in 2007 and back in 2010, and it's I know what you're talking about. You know, some of the people are undesirable. I mean, it's kind of scary. But it is what it is. Yeah, Staten Island is definitely, I mean, the potholes, my front end, I think, just fell apart. So, but other than that, we did have a good time. I did get to see his family. Chris got to see how many cousins he had. He didn't realize how much family he had. Unfortunately, I only got to see my sister Lisa once, and my sister Lori maybe 2 times, I think, or three times, and my nieces and my one niece and my 2 nephews 1 time. Unfortunately, I only got to see them then, but I was so happy to see everybody anyway. I had just wished that certain things were a little different. But I was very excited actually to come home, and then it rained. As you could see, that finally cleared up the last couple of days, but it was raining crazy and it didn't stop. It was very depressing to come home to that. Let's see, what else can I throw in there? Let's see, what else? Oh, I had to, yeah, because like I said, I had a long thing going on, so I'm trying to condense it. The other thing was I wanted to talk to anybody women, this is directed to, or even husbands, you know, with wives and stuff, and this has to do with hormones. And it has to do with menopause or perimenopause, P-E-R-I. If you're experiencing things anywhere from the age of maybe around 34 to somewhere in your 50s, or maybe even stretch that a little longer, things that on a regular basis around that time. I'm talking about not just muscle aches and joint aches and excruciating migraines. And that goes without saying, and just times at that age when you shouldn't be having things. I'm talking about debilitating. If you're not taking painkillers or pain medication, that you're on the bed with ice packs and you just can't get out of bed type of pain. But I'm also talking about other things. If you're experiencing a lot of other things, I was on the site because I do suffer from pains and aches and pains, and I do have a problem with spondylosis of the back, but this made it every month horrible. The intensity level of the muscles muscle contraction were like somebody just shoved golf balls in my neck. It affected my jaw, affected my head. Worse than it would without it. The pills didn't work. It was like I was taking more than I should have been. If you're experiencing anything like that, also if you new things all the time, if you've had a hysterectomy, it's another thing. if you've had a partial something taken out, if you, anything at all like that, go to a doctor who deals with hormones, a gynecologist that deals with hormones, natural hormones, like those naturals, and find out. Try that. Just give it a try, because I was experiencing sinus infections and I didn't make the connection until I went online when it was becoming on a regular basis, and I just still taking antibiotics for the last one. And before I went to my pain management doctor, sent me to a migraine specialist for this problem, which I've been dealing with it for years, but it's gotten worse. I went online to look things up, sinus infections and hormones. And sure enough, I came up with something where people were experiencing, not always the same, but some were similar, sinus infections, ear infections, same thing that I was getting on a regular basis, and somewhat getting worse, allergy symptoms, arthritic type symptoms, cramps that were worse than when you were a teenager, just issues like that. So if you're experiencing anything on that order and it's just getting worse and worse as the years go by, or as the menses go by, please go and find an obstetrician, gynecologist that specializes in hormones. Look online for that, because the one that I had did not deal with that, and when I mentioned it several times, did not make the connection. And I went on a site where there was blogs that people were saying the same thing. Women were turning around and saying the same exact thing, that the ENT and the gyne, every time they mentioned it, they did not make the connection. And someone actually went on hormones or medication or some hormone therapy, not pills. There was a pill. Actually, my sister is dealing with that right now and seeing if it helps. But it's something that you should consider, because after I had my son, this is stuff because my body's gone downhill, and that's one. If that works, that's one less thing I need to worry about. And a lot of people felt 100% better. They got their energy back. They didn't feel as tired. Didn't feel sleepy anymore. Their muscles didn't feel the way they did. Just felt better. And if you're having that problem, just go for it. Anyhow, I just wanted to let everybody know that, because I felt that was important. So far, we're having an okay summer. I mean, it was raining for a while, and now it's not. So, and I had this little time to myself to yammer on. It's YouTube, and that's the whole thing. It's the blog and the talk, and just to get your stuff out there. I have posted pictures on Facebook of New York. Apparently, I've been living there for 30 years, so I've seen it. But my son, he didn't see it as much as I have, so the experience is a little different. Anyhow, now that I got this time to myself, and why do my eyes look so sleepy? Anyhow, so I think I've run out of stuff to say. Still want to do some things I can't. Oh, movies. Toy Story, excellent. If you haven't seen it, go see it. It was really, really funny. Really, I don't want to give anything away, but Toy Story, like I said before, and I've said it again, every time you think Pixar is done, they're not. They always go another step further with their movies, and that's one company that I would love to have dealings with, but I'm here in Newport Richie, and they're there, so they don't know beans about me. Anyhow, before this cuts me off, and I don't want to be cut off like this, I want to say farewell. I hope everybody is having a great summer. If I have anything more to say, I will say it. But also another pill that's really good for the back of the head if you're having any occipital nerve pain is Topamax. I found out that to be a very, very, very good medication. But anyhow, miss you all. Glad I got a chance to say hi, and hopefully I'll get another chance to pop on and talk. It's been a while. Love you all. Ciao.